What's up, everybody? So, hey, my God, right there. I just got done becoming a member officially. Stood up in front of everybody at a black missionary church. I'm going to stop referring to it as black. I've done so historically referring to black churches as black churches because they refer to that themselves that way. But also because of the organ music, which is really why I go there. It's not because they're one shade or another, or I've got any type of feeling or whatever a certain way towards individuals of any complexion, because I don't. Proof of that is if Korean people played organ music the way that is played historically in black churches, I would go to Korean churches too. Whatever. I just got done standing up in front of that whole congregation asking them for permission to be a member of that church because my grandmother went to church every day for 100 years or whatever it was. Every weekend she's down there. And killing 168 schoolgirls of any color is way the wrong way. And so, a lot of times people want to look outward at the news, at the world, at YouTube and everything. Everything's always what other people are doing. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look inward and I'm going to see what I should be doing and what I am not doing. What I'm not doing is going to church every single Sunday, and I should be. I dig organ music, I got to practice more so I can go to the congregation and play. No matter what color the people I'm playing to are or what color I am. Jesus is whatever color he wants to be. There's a deacon lady there that was super kind to me like a year ago or something, man. I never forgot that. She remembered me. And I have contacts in Mexico that send me pictures of dead people and stuff and tell me what's going on. And I can sit here and type up some type of sensationalistic stuff about the cartel stuff. I could do that. And I will sometimes when it's relevant. I've got brothers that just got done supposedly, Alejandro Dorado Roma. The guy was every bit of a stand-up person as you could ever want to be. In fact, we were friends on Facebook, and we stopped being friends on Facebook because he was getting on me about certain political beliefs. And I got tired of hearing about it, so I deleted him so I didn't have to sit there and listen to him critique me about things that he felt a little differently on. That said, the guy was every bit as stand-up and honest and forthright as a person as you could ever want to be, as far as I knew. Never, ever, ever. The guy was always on political security details, too, because he was just lily white, clean, pure. And they say that he unalived himself with his service weapon. I don't know about that. There's a lot of talk about members of my old corporation working for a certain cartel right now. And, I haven't really made a video on it because I don't want to sensationalize something with half-truths. And I haven't made any videos on the MNAV schoolgirls, even though in an aerospace industry, everything that you make, touch, or purchase is tracked right from the ore when it's pulled out of the hills or whatever, and at the foundry, all the way until it's mounted on a plane or a weapons platform or system. So there's traceability, and the Iranians are showing several different serial numbers of components from Ball Aerospace, Raytheon. There's a motor in there. There's 4 components total that either went together on a certain weapon system or didn't. Could easily be proven by the American government that tracks all that stuff at a federal level. Yes, we killed those kids in Manab. No, we didn't. Yes, we bombed them. The United States military has these Tomahawk missiles accurate to within 5 to 10 meters, so 15 feet to 30 feet. So figure from one side of your house to the other house, they know right down to the meter where that thing struck and who it hit. They have people that are responsible for the intelligence of things that are on the receiving end, where that meter is going to hit, that are responsible for that. They can testify, yes, we did do it, yet no, we didn't. They know where their missiles go. There's only like 4 or 5 nations that have these missiles to begin with, so Trump's saying that Iran got one. Who'd they get them from? Australia, Japan, the Netherlands? There's only 2 other ones that's escaping me at the moment. Neither one of them is any... Israel doesn't even have these weapons, so why Trump would say that? When you're killing 168 kids, that's a bridge too far. What do I need to do? As a Christian, with the shekels my Lord gave me, and I have always been loath to try to tell other people what to do. In fact, right now, even yesterday, I made a video on how to change out... Oh, almost dropped. Did you see that? Good recovery. Changing out the battery on how to do this with one of these, so you don't have to spend a gazillion dollars. But even there, I'm saying do so at your own risk. This is how I change my battery. I am going to church. I am reading the scriptures. I am going to go take my wife lunch right now. And I am going to go to the gym, run 2 miles, sit in the sauna, and also start doing more working out. In addition, with the finals that I've got due this week, because it's what I am required to do by my God, my one king. And my king is not Donald Trump or Kamala Harris or any other person in a pantsuit like Hillary Clinton or any other one of these fools sitting there. And I'm purposely not cussing because I need to make sure that I do everything in accordance with what my God would want. And today the message was that the people that do evil will be as stubble. And I do not want to be one of those people. And my God, when he comes back, he will be bearing the sword. And it's my God's position to be bearing the sword, Jesus Christ, not me, other than what's immediately relevant in terms of defending other people or doing as I think that my God would tell me to do, which isn't some crazy zealot type thinking to where I would be going out doing anything. In fact, I go to an all-black church, almost all black. There was one other white person in there, to where some crazy person could come in there and just as easily harm me as someone else. So I'm definitely not into that type of thing. I'm definitely into peace. But a lot of people aren't. They worship in this country. They worship statism. They worship people that pick up weapons, acting like they're John Wick and Safeway with their little tactical. Did you sweep your opponent? Oh, look at that cool trigger discipline, dog. Oh, I'm so tactical. Their Weaver stance and all this. No. I roundly reject that. That is not what God wants us to do. And this whole marriage thing between Christianity and Judaism, I have to rethink that, because by a fruit a tree will be known. And when you are doing stuff that tells you with your whole heart that it is wrong, I'm going to reject it. I don't care who's saying it. I don't care if I stand alone. I don't care if I'm the only white person standing in front of an entire black congregation asking me to be part of their church, which I just did. Telling them totally like what my past is and stuff like that, what I'm about. Jesus is any color he wants to be. Jesus made us whatever color we are because that's the color that he wanted us to be. And you know what? I'm not going to get hung up about it, man. And I told him too, I'm like, hey, you know what? I want you to know that I come here because of your organ. It's black people church music. I dig it. That's it. You want to get mad? Don't get mad. I don't care, man. That's why I'm here. And I'm here because killing 168 schoolgirls of any religion, shade, or whatever is a bridge too far. And I need to make sure that I am at church getting the guidance that I need that comes from the same book. And by that book, in as much as it is, the reading today was from 1 Samuel chapter 16, verses 1 through 5. And the reading was a little bit different because the pastor was using a different version of the Bible. So even in that, they were confusing the words sanctify and consecrated. So there are like these just little differences in verbiage, but when you're translating a Bible, translating has a lot to do with it. The timing has a lot to do with it. When was it written? Compiled centuries after Jesus' death and written decades after Jesus' death. I look into all these things because I want to know. But the fastest way to know whether something is true or not is, does your internal compass, does your heart coincide with whatever just happened? And I'm going to tell you right now, there is nothing in my entire existence in any place I've ever been, in any of the languages that I speak, and I speak a few, to where the truth is always going to be the same no matter what language it is. And it tells you that killing little girls is wrong, and then they're going to get in there. Mrs. Leavitt from the White House press secretary or whatever is going to sit there and semi-threaten people about being on the right side of not killing little kids. I'm not afraid of you. I have one king and none of these people are it. And I submit that the same applies for you too. You know, these people that have a lot of wealth that somehow wind up in public office and whatnot, in service to themselves, not the public service. They serve themselves. Every single one of them's a multimillionaire. You know, I'm not asking people to live and be broke on the side of the road. Definitely not. I like having nice stuff too, same as the next guy. But when we make money our God, and when we sit here and look for power and control over others, you know, I don't even tell people to like and subscribe on my videos. I don't monetize my videos at all. I've committed openly to not monetizing my videos so there can be a place where people can at least know someone out there in the universe, even if his knowledge is imperfect as mine is, or if it's well-informed, which sometimes I am, exist outside of the purview of trying to generate profits, man, because someone just needs to say what's what. And you'll recognize it when you hear it. You know, I got in front of that church. They know I like their music. I told them so. It's right there. You can tell instantly whether I'm lying or not. I told them, you know what's up. We all know we're different colors here. I like coming to this church. Do you have a problem with it? Because if you have an issue with someone, you just say what it is. Not going to cuss. I'm going to stop cussing. I have a problem with little girls or anyone that's an innocent non-combatant being unalived, even if you fear them. Oh, well, it was a preemptive strike. Quit being such a coward. Nature is a dangerous place, but if someone's not actively attacking you, if you walk out into the savannah, the lions are going to attack you. They don't go through and preemptively kill all of them. It's kind of a ridiculous analogy, but kind of it's not, because we just did something way more asinine to the weakest among us by the people that stay to protect others. I'm not with it, man. I'm not with it. No matter what the consequence is of that, even if they were to come drag me out of my house and hang me in public for siding with the enemy, I would never be on the side of someone that sits there and kills little kids by the dozens and then sits there and lies about it, talking about propaganda and all this other stuff, and then can't even sit there and man up to it, but sits there and states that Iran somehow got their hands on a Tomahawk missile. Not what I'm about. If you're a man and you have something screwed up, you own it. I've had to own up to so many of my own shortcomings, and not even shortcomings, stuff that I've done knowing it was wrong, and need to be like, hey, Dave, you need to pull your head out of this, way worse than the sand. I'm not going to cuss, but out of your rear end, and get it right, because you are all the way off track and the correct course, which we could do as a species, but some people in some countries do not want to. You know, the correctness of that? I'm going to tell you right now, I have never consented to be governed in my entire life, not once, unless I've been in Mexico and I chose to go there. I have never consented to have somebody in a suit that lives up on top of a building in New York lord over me, or someone that's from Yorba Linda, California, or someone else is from wherever, Little Rock, Arkansas, I don't need someone to tell me what to do because my heart tells me to do that for myself. And I don't go out of my way to harm other people. And I know that I live in nature and I don't need police to protect me, even a military to protect me from a Chinese military, because I'm capable and willing to protect myself. I'm not going to contract that out to somebody else, even though they think I do. I do not. I never will. And I beseech others people to take that same approach, because you are the only one that's there when something's going wrong. And so even if these people pretend to protect you, as in Uvalde, they're going to either stand around fist bumping, hand sanitizing, and checking their stuff while you're being harmed a few feet away. And if you disagree with that, the same people that swore to protect human life just got done killing 168 kids that are there to represent you. Nobody cares about you the way that you care about you. And if you think that that's true, and I know that it's true in my case, then I would be the one that would take immediate responsibility for my own well-being and not depend on somebody else to do it. Even if I was a coward or even if I was a weak, I would find a way to confront my fears, and I would find a way to strengthen myself where I am weak, which I currently do anyways, because we're all weak anyways. You know, going to church, searching the scriptures, seeing where I am incorrect, seeing how those scriptures apply to my life, seeing what my own actions should be, instead of waiting on somebody else in the world to get it right. I need to get it right in my own little slice of the pie where I'm at. And where I'm at, getting it right means to expand my understanding through knowledge and through many books and through several different religious dogmatic texts. And also by continue my education and do everything that is not always easy to do. And also, having said that, there have been a lot of people this last year that told me, hey Dave, you should just shut up. Don't say anything. Don't create any waves. We've got a good thing. They're making a lot of money selling water beds or mattresses or whatever else it is they're selling on their channels. I'm not going to be part of that either. You know what? I showed up. I earned that uniform. And I'm going to say whatever the hell's on my mind, having firsthand experience, not something that comes walking into my studio. You know, I watch all this vet bro community stuff like that too. I don't give a damn if I'm the least popular person on YouTube. I'm never going to monetize this YouTube channel. I am never going to ask someone to like and subscribe. You're either here because you want to hear what I have to say, or you don't. And if you don't, that's totally cool. I'm not for you. If you do, welcome. I bid you welcome. You know, that's what this channel is about. Not listening to all the lies that they pump out on YouTube, and also not looking for someone else to get it right. How can I get it right in my own world? Be the best husband I can be the epitome of physical health and mental health and emotional health that I can be for myself, so that when I go out and interact with other people in the world, I'm a positive example. When I'm cussing, I'm not a positive example. When I'm not going to school, I'm not a positive example. When I'm not working hard and going to church to be of service to other people, I'm not a positive example. And I have zero right to speak out on other things unless I myself am doing whatever it takes to be a positive force for my king. Not for the United States government, not for the Mexican government, not because my wife told me so, but because Dave's internal compass says, hey, Dave, you shouldn't just be sitting in your stupid little office. What have you done today to serve other people and to help other people? And what have you done today to get your own self on the right track? So, that's what's up. That's today's voice. I'm going to go get my wife some birria. About that. So, yeah, I'm at like 217.1 pounds. And so I'm in the middle. We're doing the veggie thing and the chicken and the tuna, remember. So, you know, birria, it's a little off track. It's not fried food. It's actually cabrita. It's goat. I'm going to eat it. It's not fried. So that's not in the chicken tuna thing. But we are doing the thing. So at the end of the 30 days, we can see what our weight's at. Because, you know, if shit goes... Sorry, one cuss word. I'm getting better. If things go south, you know, we're prepared. Proper prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. I got to cuss with that one too because it's 7. Could be 6, but I call it 7. That's the way I learned it. That's the way I'm going to say it. Happy Sunday to all of you. They have the traceability to tell you right now whether or not that stuff that's circulating online with all of the identification tags and serial numbers and cage numbers, lot numbers from all the different companies, those 4 different companies, are actually compiled in the same Tomahawk missile or not. But they won't do that because they don't want to. Not that we would really know if they told us the truth or not anyways, we wouldn't. But they know where their missile struck, and you know what? 168 kids, that's a bridge too far. It's so far out of the realm of what's acceptable, what's even remotely acceptable. Completely inexcusable, and every single person involved with that should rot in prison forever, regardless of what country they're for and regardless of what the context of their excuses for their actions are. They routinely go after people with Racketeer Influence Corrupt Organization Act. They do it all the time, which gets anybody that's involved with that organization and puts them in prison for the crimes of just a few. But they won't apply that same philosophy or law towards themselves. And when you're killing little girls, it doesn't get much more evil than that. That being said, what can I do about me? That's my message to you today. I might do another video later today. I might not. I don't know. I'm gonna get out of this high and go get my wife some birria. I might have some birria too. I'm not gonna weigh myself until the end of the month. I'm just gonna make sure that I stick with this, and then we're gonna see where we're at the end of the month. And hey, man, peace to you. God is good. God is great all the time. I really like that church. My wife's going to be really mad at me, but I don't care. I like that church. I'm going to that church. You know, the pastor came down today, too. He told me, hey, you're a preacher. I'm going to be baptized in that church. He told me you came here to preach. I disagree with that. I don't like being the voice to people. You know, when I got out of service in Mexico, I didn't talk for a long time until I heard Ed Calderon talking to Dan Crenshaw, and then I hear all these vet bro people in a country that worships statism sit there and talk about what's going on in Mexico when none of them have firsthand experience. I don't think that my brother killed himself. Alejandro, God rest your soul. I knew him very well. I don't think that he killed himself. I doubt it. I have a home in Mexico. I try not to speak on Mexican politics because they don't really dig on it, but I'm just going to say that I do not think Alejandro would ever harm himself with his service weapon. And apparently he self-deleted. That's what's being said. And there's a lot of stuff going on with all the cartels that you guys are talking about right now where I work, exactly with the people I worked with who are still at work. And I'm here in the United States making money because I needed to make a little bit more money to take care of my wife's dental stuff. And my general was retiring, and that's why I'm here and not still at work, or I would still be there. I love that job, man. Enough out of me. I don't want to ramble on. You guys have a wonderful day. Maybe I'll do a video later today. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Cheers.